a short one here for you guys, that Donald Trump has been given the chance to assess the UK's Chagos handover. I'm going to read into this more from the BBC, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from the BBC with the headline that Donald Trump, the incoming US president, will be given the chance to assess the UK's Chagos handover deal. The UK's planned handover to the Chagos Islands to Mauritius should be considered by the incoming US President Donald Trump before it goes ahead, Downing Street has stated. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share it across social media so others are notified of this video. I am now pretty confident that this deal is going to get shot down now as a direct result of this decision by Downing Street. I think they should have pressed ahead with it and got it done. I do not think that the Trump administration are going to approve or sign off on this deal, even though it guarantees the protections of the UK-US military base on the island. Any talk that I keep hearing that this is related to China is BS. This is about the indigenous people being given back their land. And they want the islands back, and the international courts ruled that it should be given back to them. This is what this is about, and I actually think that this deal is not going to go through because it's not in the interest of the US. I think Joe Biden was in favor of this deal, but the fact that they're going to wait until Trump comes in tells me we're probably not going to get approval of it. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Donald Trump, maybe we'll have second thoughts. We'll have to wait and see, but I don't have much hope if I'm honest, guys. So efforts were made to get the treaty signed before President-elect Trump's inauguration on Monday, the BBC understands. And it had been expected that the Mauritian cabinet would approve the proposal on Wednesday. UK plans to hand over sovereignty to the cluster of islands in the Indian Ocean, but to maintain a 99-year lease on the joint UK and US military base on the largest island, Diego da Garcia. Spokesperson for the Prime Minister, Sir Keir, said it was perfectly reasonable for the US administration to consider the details of any agreement. The Shadow Foreign Secretary Priti Patel said the latest development was completely humiliating for the Prime Minister because Labour had been desperate to sign off the surrender of the Chagos Islands before President Trump returns to office. And unfortunately, I have to agree with Priti Patel because it does feel like that now that this has come out, because the premise was supposed to be to get this all done and dusted before Trump comes in, and now all of a sudden they're waiting for Trump to come in. It feels like, well, you're giving up on this deal now, aren't you? And I feel like that they will use Donald Trump to shoot it down, the US administration shoot it down as an excuse to not go ahead with the deal now. That's what I feel like they're going to do. The deal has drawn criticism from other politicians in the UK, as well as the incoming US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who said it poses a serious threat to US security by giving the islands to countries allied with China. Trump has not publicly commented on the deal. However, Reform UK leader and Trump ally Nigel Farage told BBC Newsnight last year the agreement would damage Sir Keir's relation with the US president-elect. At pre-MQ, Sir Keir defended the deal, saying the negotiations started under the Tory government and insisted it was the best way to safeguard the military base. Reports had suggested Mauritian Prime Minister Navin would sign off an agreement on Wednesday as he attended a cabinet meeting, but it was later announced that his Attorney General was travelling to London to continue talks. UK took over the Chagos Islands, or British Indian Ocean Territory, from its then colony Mauritius, and in 1965 went on to evict its population of more than 1,000 people to make way for the Diego Garcia base. See, do your blibbing research, guys. They were kicked out of their lands. It's their islands, not ours. Mauritius, which won independence from the UK in 1968, has maintained that the islands are its own, and the UN's highest court has ruled in an advisory opinion that the UK administration of the territory is unlawful. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch said the Prime Minister was negotiating a secretive deal to surrender British territory, and taxpayers in this country will pay for the humiliation. I don't accept that it's going to be a secret deal. I don't like the fact that taxpayers are going to be paying for this humiliation, but unfortunately, because of part of our history, I'm not surprised that there's going to be compensation of some sorts. Badenoch said there was no way we should be giving up British territory in Chagos, claiming Sir Keir was rushing a deal which would be disastrous and it would cost the British taxpayers billions of pounds. The cost of the proposed deal to the UK has not been officially announced. In response to Badenoch, Sir Keir told PMQs the planned agreement would ensure that the military base on Diego Garcia would continue to operate efficiently. A deal over the Chagos Islands was first announced in October following years of negotiations. But weeks later, after his election, Mr. Ramgol said that he had reservations about the draft treaty and asked for an independent review. In a joint statement in October, Mauritius and the UK said the deal would address wrongs of the past and demonstrate the commitments of both parties to support the welfare of the Chagosians. The Chagos Islanders, some in Mauritius and the Senegalese, but others living in Crawley in Sussex, do not speak with one voice on the fate of their homeland. Some have criticised the deal, saying they were not consulted in the negotiations. Under the proposed deal, Mauritius would be able to begin a programme of resettlement on the Chagos Islands, but not on Diego Garcia. UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy has previously played down the criticism, saying it's a very good deal for our national security because it secures the legal basis of the Diego Garcia military base. And that's the main thing. As long as the military base is there, there's no issues about this. Like, they're still owning the island Diego Garcia. It's the rest of the islands. They have no use for the rest of the islands. There is no need to have the rest of the islands. But I can already see people in the chat. But China. Like, seriously. Like, just... I just think that Trump is just going to shoot down the deal. I generally think so. I'm hoping that they do. They sign it off. I hope America, Trump team look at it and sign it off in the end. I hope so, because it's a non-story. And they're just using it as a means to try and bash the Labour Party, which is the Conservatives who started this in the first place, not the Labour. But what do you guys think? Do you think Donald Trump will approve it, or do you think he'll shoot down the deal? What do you guys honestly think about Donald Trump's thinking behind this deal? Let me know your thoughts and more down in the comment section below. If you found this video informative or helpful to you, please hit that like button. It'd be greatly appreciated. Share this across social media so others are notified of this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.